Alongside the I-80 and wedged between West Sacramento and Davis is a hidden wildlife area that is a hotspot for observing nature at work. Sitting at the heart of the Yolo Basin, the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area allows for some of the most accessible wildlife watching within 10 minutes of its neighboring cities. It's a 16,000-acre land restoration project, but is likely to come off as empty, unused land to some, especially as people zoom past it at 70 miles per hour. Though a much closer look on the wildlife area's 6-mile auto loop tour reveals that there is much to take in. Consider the Great Egrets, the kind of bird that has taken up a more permanent residence at the wildlife area. Here is one wading through the wetlands in search of food. It stands tall over a small creek, surveying the environment for anything of interest. It is winter season. This means all life dependent on the aquatic environment comes out to enjoy the abundance flooding brings. Unfortunately, the abundance doesn't necessarily mean easy eating, especially not for this bird. Perhaps as the clouds cover up the hot sun, another chance to hunt might present itself. Birds are the wetland's most prominent species, serving as both permanent residents to some and migratory pit stop for others. The white-crowned sparrow. Though a simple-looking bird with its plain brown plumage, it gets its name after the bold and black-white stripes on its head. This is a fully grown white-crowned sparrow, and it's hopping around and foraging through the ground for seeds and grass. And when not on the ground floor, a closer look into nearby bushes reveals a more private view of their dwellings. Here is an immature white-crowned sparrow, identifiable from its similar bold crown pattern, yet reddish-brown color in place of black and white. Waterfowl are another kind of bird that are especially dependent on wetland environments such as this one. Some of them include flocks of greater white-fronted goose. They are migrating along the Pacific Flyway, which is a north-south expedition that stretches from the far reaches of Alaska down all the way to Patagonia. The northern pintail. Notice the sexual dimorphism, which are biological traits that can be observed to identify the species' sex. The one with a black and white tail, white bill, and white striped neck is a male, while the female is the one that fashions a patterned light brown plumage. Then there are the more lone-standing kind of birds, such as the Great Egrets. And for this one in particular, the hunt continues on from its earlier attempt. It takes flight, soaring over the wetlands to take up feeding opportunities elsewhere. Slowly wading through a vernal pool, It poises itself before lunging forward for the kill. Breaking it down piece by piece, it chops through the crayfish's exoskeleton. In all of its statuesque elegance, the egret demonstrates a form of energy being transferred from life and death. This exchange is a sign of an ecosystem's ability to endure a variety of environmental changes. The presence of such species, whether it be the egret or the crayfish, contributes to a larger picture of habitat quality, ecological diversity, and overall ecosystem health. Though animals are largely the inhabitants as well as visitors of the wildlife area, so too are us humans. Taking joy in the space through recreational activities is not only a moment to pause and appreciate time off from work, nor time together with each other, but to also admire the coexistence of the natural world among our very own.